What is up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Steel, and that was just Jesse falling off a cliff like a moron. We're going to talk about Overwatch today, kind of a spur-of-the-moment review. I didn't really plan on doing it until this morning, but I think I have some experience in talking about it. I played the beta one month before it came out, and I have played a pretty good amount of hours into it right now for the amount of content that it has to be able to talk about it. So we're going to talk about it. The feel of the game itself feels great. The game feels balanced, it feels fair, and everything about it just feels fun, energetic. It's like a new Team Fortress all over again, which is what I wanted because TF2 kind of had the hat holocaust, which, in my opinion, ruined the game entirely, and they shouldn't have ever fucking did it. Because God help you if you have a PC and you want to play TF2, go ahead, but you're going to regret it because it's not the same anymore. With Overwatch, though, why is it so different from TF2? Well, I had... let's see how to demo... fuck it. You know what? I'm not going to count how many people are in TF2 that you can play. There are 21 heroes in this one. Each one feels completely different. You go from using a bow to a giant fucking rocket hammer, to using hand cannon shotguns as Reaper, to using a Mr. Freeze gun as Mei, okay? You can basically use anything you want except for what you're just thinking of to prove my point wrong, like a fucking dildo weapon, okay? This is a fun game. It's enjoyable. It takes pieces from TF2 and MOBAs. As you can see, there are skills on the bottom right, and I have an ulti ready at the bottom. Everybody has something different. Everyone has their strengths. This is a good point to talk about the element in the game that involves you having to switch heroes. So you can't main somebody all game unless you get extremely lucky and nobody decides to do it. It's kind of something that I feel like will happen in ranked more often when that comes out. But right now, it seems like unless it's a really bad counter to you, nobody's gonna bother switching right now. It's just kind of like they'll just burn to defeat. Or you'll burn to defeat because nobody really thinks about switching. But in ranked, I guarantee you it's going to happen. You're going to see switching like no other. And that's something that this game has. The game is balanced, but there are heroes specifically designed to beat the shit out of another hero. Like Bastion against Hanzo. Hanzo's going to kick your ass if he has the range on you, because all he has to do is shoot you twice, and you're stationary. So Hanzo kind of wins there. But it's not overpowered, or it's not unfair. It's more of, damn it, we should have seen it, or we should have prepared for it. It's more team based in this sense. Like Reinhardt with a Bastion is very dangerous and scary, and I don't recommend ever going up against that unless you can somehow get Bastion killed. As for maps and modes, the maps are a total of 12. We are currently playing on Numbani. I think it's Numbani. So they seem to all take place in someone's origins. Like this is Lucio's, which is a support character in the game, who does some beats, you know, and it has some really weird worm locks on his head. But these 12 maps have 3 modes to them. So you have a total of, I think, 4 maps per mode. And then they also have a match of the week. It's basically kind of like if you've ever played Smite, there's kind of a game of the day or something like that where the rules are different and you kind of just play in that kind of spectrum. Like, for instance, I've played in the ones you'll see soon, there was Hanzo and Genji only for the Shimada clan. On Hanzo and Genji's map, which was pretty cool, even though, in my opinion, you know, Genji's pretty damn hard counter to Hanzo, just because Hanzo's all about shooting people with a bow and arrow, and Genji's one of the more mobile characters, so it's kind of dumb, but also cool. It's, you know, take it for what you will. It's another mode. So we have 3 modes. With 12 maps. So, as I said before, the game feels great. The maps themselves feel quite balanced compared to some other maps in other games. The only exception is that there might be one or two that could be possibly cited depending on the build of your team, because the way you build your team is pretty important. It'll have tips telling you, like, hey, you have too many offense, or you don't have a sniper, you don't have a builder, you don't have a tank, or you don't have a support. Oxygen! Gosh, I need some water. This is my 4th take, by the way. I'm trying to make this good for you people, so that way I'm not like, is this, like, just stuttering over myself, because I tend to just wing it, and that's kind of dumb for me, because I don't think when I talk. It's all from the heart, baby. It's all from the heart. As I'm eyeing. As for the modes, we have Push the Payload, like TF2. There's a King of the Hill, which I'm not sure if that's from TF2. And then we have Push Control Points, kind of like a Rush-esque map, where you capture a point and then you push forward. That's in TF2 as well. So if that's all from TF2, this is basically attempting to kill TF2, which I am welcome for. I think TF2 needs some competition, and I think that this game can do that for us. The only issue that I'm finding with the game is the content. Okay, the game right now is retailing for $60, and for 4 maps for each 3 modes, which is 12. The only thing you've got going for you is the 21 heroes. Okay, and let's be honest, the beta was the full game. Okay, the beta from February was the full game. Now all they've been doing is little tweaks and updates to the game. Nothing's really changed from what I've played since beta to here. No, and I'm not asking for something game-changing, you know, like 20 new maps or something, which is an exaggeration. Like maybe 5 new maps would be kind of more a realistic number. But maybe a new hero or a new mode. A new mode would have been a breath of fresh air, you know. That would have done it easily. But the game feels the same as the beta. Other than a few game changes, you know, like I've heard Reaper's Death Blossom, which is his ulti, isn't as strong, even though now if he goes up against Roadhog up close, he's fucked no matter what, because that bitch can survive and suck on his bottle all day long. Let's talk about what are some things that bother me, as we were just talking about one thing that bothers me, which is the content. For $60, I do not think that you should spend money, or I don't think you should spend $60 for a game that does not have $60 worth of content. We are currently playing the amount of content that I almost feel like Star Wars Battlefront has a leg up on you, Overwatch, in content. That is a huge issue, because Battlefront is the exact example of a game that I think should have never been made, okay? But you do better. You do better. Your gameplay's fine. Your gameplay's excellent. I think you do fine. Okay? The only thing that I have gripes on for this game is the amount of content you have, and the way that the leveling up is tied in with the loot box system. So the loot box system, as I'm moving on to the next subject, is basically how you're going to get your skins, your victory poses, your highlight intros, your sprays, your logos, your voice lines, your emotes. You know, it gives you everything. And they're random. If you've ever played Hearthstone, that's a good example. It's a card pack, so you just it explodes, and then you see what you get. So when you level up, you get 1 loot box. Okay, this loot box gives you a total of 5 things, and you can possibly get one of the rare skins. Now, most of the skins aren't that expensive. You could probably, in one day, make enough gold. We'll get into what I'm talking about with the loot box and the leveling up system. So, before I get into the gold stuff, you could probably early on find enough to make a game, or buy a few cheap skins, or maybe save up for a really expensive skin, but one. So when you first start leveling up, the game feels quite fair with it. You feel like you've earned maybe a new skin, it maybe isn't that rare, or maybe a new spray, you know. But as you get higher in level, like I'm level 15 now, and I got to level 20 something in the beta. You start slowing down pretty hard. You start kind of hitting this slow curve, and you can't get loot boxes as frequently. And getting a rare in a loot box is already rare, ergo the word's definition. And then you end up sitting there thinking, oh well, how do I get more loot boxes? And the only way you're gonna get more loot boxes is by buying them. And luckily, this is only cosmetic. There is no game-changing things to this yet. I'm saying yet because I don't know if Blizzard's going to end up doing that, but Blizzard seems to have a good track record with Hearthstone. At least I think... No, I take that back. Okay, it used to be fair. The community started fucking with it. Anyways, you can pay some money to get a loot box. Or some loot boxes, I might say. And then you have a higher chance of getting a rare skin. Like, eventually I decided to put $10 into getting enough loot boxes to where I got the Night Ops skin, and I felt pretty good about it, because that was one of my top skins for it. What are more gripes? That's really it. Like, you know, the content and the buying thing, even though luckily that wasn't, you know, something game breaking, I felt that the game definitely needs more to it. Like, for God's sakes, I already kind of have an idea of what I want to buy and what I don't want to buy. Like, not with money wise, but like, you know, skins that I want, and then I'm done. Like, I don't need it anymore. So this game's life is withering at the point, guys. It's it needs more content to keep people interested. People that have been playing this and streaming this since the beginning of the beta have played this game over and over because there's not that much stuff here. That was a very good example on how you're gonna kill your game's life away if you're not giving them either new stuff when the game initially launches, and you were calling your full game a beta, and it was really just a bug testing thing, which, you know, I get, you know, it's no harm done, but I'm hoping to see something new very soon, or else I'm going to fall out of it very quickly. By like the end of the month, I probably won't even be playing this thing, and it'll just be sitting in my library and just collecting storage on my hard drive. And so the game needs more. It needs more to justify its $60 price range. At least it isn't doing what Battlefront did with a whole $120 for the content it did. Yeah, that bullshit. Thanks, EA. But what else can I talk about? I think I've already touched on the heroes a little bit, but the heroes all are so interesting to the point that their background, their bios interest me. I would pay money to see a movie on the origins of every hero, especially like Reaper, who essentially is dying and coming back to life in an accelerated rate over and over, like almost like Wolverine, but he's also dying at the same time. So he's essentially in limbo, but in the physical world, I guess is how you could say it. So it's really, I want to know how that happened and all that, and why he's the way he is. But I think I'll go and start recapping on everything now. The game is going to eventually get a ranked system, but we're going to review it for what it has right now. So, how does the game feel? I think it feels amazing. I think that if you have $60 to throw at this game, you should do it. If you're bored and you have $60 to throw at something, you don't care. You're like, well, I was gonna go buy like $60 worth of Taco Bell or something. Like, why would you do that though? You're gonna buy for all your fucking 10 friends? Jesus. But the game feels great. Just needs some more content to it. As I said, content needs to increase. Currently, I do not believe that $60 is worth the content that you guys are providing. It needs to be more to keep our interests. Like right now, I could easily see it being a $30 game. I'm not saying it should be free, because I damn well would be surprised if this was free, you know. But, you know, never underestimate someone's generosity. The $30 would be fair. I think in the end this will eventually be worth $60. But until then, it's not, in my opinion, worth $60 unless you have money to throw at it. The heroes feel balanced. They're all interesting. To this day still want to try out everybody. Like right now, I'm kind of looking at Genji because I'm really interested in getting better at him. Him and Tracer, because of the way that they play, and I've seen how good they can be on a team if used correctly. And I tend to head towards people that are a lot tougher to play after a while. As for the loot box system, I don't appreciate how to obtain loot boxes. Maybe if we had like each mode, we had a win of the day. So if we won a match that day, we got maybe like 25 gold or whatever it's called, or 50 gold. You know, we have a way of slowly earning it to achieve skins without the loot box system, because eventually it'll be impossible and you need to buy loot boxes to get what you want, which is really stupid, and I don't think it's worth it. What else about the game have I touched on? The maps and the modes. So the modes are good. The maps are fine. Just, you know, you have to keep up the content and outcome or output, and you'll be fine. The other thing that I liked was the hero changing option. Oh my lord! The hero counter, like, it forces you to change in the middle of the game. It forces people to be versatile in all the heroes, so that way they're able, or they can counter you. I have yet to see this be like stupid. Most of the time it's pretty fair. But yeah, other than that, guys, I'm gonna give this game, I'm gonna call it average right now. Blizzard has done a very good job with what it has made. It just needs to make more of it. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. This is my 5th take doing this. Yeah, I've talked about this the 5th time. I'm gonna go get me some orange juice and sponsor them. Just kidding. Okay, bye guys.